academic boycott means if you hear about a lecture, if you hear about a professor who comes to speak in Israel, tell them not to. Tell them we will give you hell, if you will. Don't collaborate with the Israeli institutions. Do not be blind to the occupation. The same goes for artists. And if artists and people from the academic world in Israel wants to come here, you have to tell them, we don't mind if you want to do that, but don't represent Israel. As long as you're representing Israel, you're not welcome here. The next is divestment. Divestment means convincing companies and states. A lot of states has businesses with Israel, and people who would profit from the occupation, convince them not to do business with the Israeli institution. And of course, sanctions, which means vote for the politicians or ask your local politician to push the idea of pulling sanctions on the UN, on Israel in the UN. They should not be in the UN. And even if they need to be in the UN, ask to pull sanctions on them. No longer receive financial aid by governments. So that's it for the BDS, and I think this is the most important social call. It was written in 2005, and even if there's stuff that I don't like about the call, it's not stuff that I can. It kind of worked in South Africa, but even if it has a lot of problems within it, I cannot tell the Palestinians how to run their own struggle. I have to be in solidarity with each call, with each social call that they release. This is, at least I feel obligated to do so because the occupation is done in my name. So I'm obligated to be in solidarity with them as far as I can. Plus I can tell them how to run their struggle. It's an important social call, and therefore you should all support it. And you should all. This is the group that you can participate in here from the States. You don't have to come to the West Bank in order to be a part of the BDS movement. It's a call for you. It's a call for the rest of the world. Regarding Zionism as a form of racism, well, basically when you say I'm a Zionist, means I support the idea of a Jewish state. When you say I support the idea of a Jewish state, it means that obviously Jewish people will have privileges in that state. Even if you say, "Oh, I wanna have equality," it's kind of an oxymoron to say I live in a Jewish democratic state, because if it's Jewish, if it mentions that Jewish will always have some privileges in that state, therefore it cannot be democratic. Therefore it's racist, but unless it's anarchist, then therefore it's racist. I have this stigma on religion that I can't just ignore, because I know that once I get back to Israel, that this is how religion looks like, you know. Capitalism is the source of all evil, but religion is pretty high on the list. I can't escape that, and even though there are some people who I find to be religious and great people, I can't stop thinking about how religious people influenced me personally, and I've never had a good experience with religion, so.
So what do you think the future holds for Israel?
Well, basically...
Is there a future for Israel as a Jewish state?
As a Jewish state, I hope not. The future of Israel, if the BDS will work, and I'm beginning to see that it's really taken off. I mean, 5 years ago, how many of you... 2 years ago, how many of you knew that the BDS in Palestine even exists? It's relatively new. People are starting to talk about Israel as an apartheid state right now. It's not like it started. It didn't start very long ago. And some of them are like very mainstream liberals, and they still talk about it like that. And basically, if the BDS will work, hopefully Israel will stop being an apartheid state. Hopefully, I will see the destruction of Israel as a Jewish state. It will be a state for everyone. Everyone who wants to live there will be able to live there, because it's a long social process that we have to live with. Because even I sometimes feel that I'm prejudiced about everyone. So if I have to go through that social process of living with a person next door to each other, what those who openly admit to being racist will have to go through, and don't care about being racist, what those who don't care about the fact that they participated in different terror attacks, what process they will have to go through. But right now, I'm simply hoping. I'm hoping that the BDS will take off and people will start acknowledging the stuff that Israel makes, and will start forcing a change on Israel. But ideally, that Israel will stop to exist as a Jewish state. Cease to exist. Basically, I've given up on the Israeli society, but it's very important to say we're an action group. Not an organization, and we don't have a political agenda. We try to reach a consensus in every action that we take, but we don't have a political agenda. We accept everyone, even like communists, socialists, social democrats, even, as long as they're against the occupation and against the wall. So therefore, people come there with different political agendas. Some of them haven't given up on the Israeli society and wish to influence it more. Some of us are just in Palestine in solidarity with Palestinians, and some of us are there because we want to see the two-state solution. Some of us want the one-state solution, the zero-state solution, whatever. Some of us say we don't care about the Israeli society, and we only care about the Palestinians right now. When we'll get somewhere, the only way to pressure the Israeli government is through the rest of the world. Some of us are a lot more optimistic. They say if I manage to change my mind and become radical, I acknowledge that, and I'm gonna try helping other people. And they talk to Israeli people, all Israeli people who live outside of a bubble, because I think most of us do live in.
So is it really growing then, the movement within Israel?
No. Basically, I think that Israel has always been very, very racist. The only difference is that stuff that they didn't say 20 years ago, they can now scream it loud and no one would even care. Like, people used to say stuff like a good Arab is a dead Arab. They put them very, like, are you insane? How can you say that? Now they're screaming that, and I can scream that in the middle of Tel Aviv and no one would care.
Obama promised Israel 30 billion over the next decade. How many more resolutions have to be violated? How many more children have to be annihilated? Israel is a terror state, they're terrorists that terrorize. I testify my television, televise, I'm telling lies. This is not a war, it is systematic genocide. But whatever they try, Palestine will never die.
Free my people, long live Palestine. We will never let you go.
Sing it with me now. Free, free Palestine. 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 Palestine, Ramallah, West Bank, Gaza. This is for the child that is searching for an answer. Wish I could take your tears and replace them with laughter. Long live Palestine, long live Gaza. Palestine, Ramallah, West Bank, Gaza. This is for the child that is searching for an answer. Wish I could take your tears and replace them with laughter. Long live Palestine, long live Gaza. Don't get offended by facts, just try and listen. Nothing is more anti-Semitic than Zionism.